Oh my goodness, you won't believe this, but believe me, the tea is hotter than ever. Is Papo truly sobbing in the streets following Remy Ma's bombshell? Find him for that alimony bag. Oh, you heard correctly. Remy Ma just won a significant court case, and let's just say that Papoose isn't handling it well. Does a woman turn around and empty out the bank after you've held her down while she's imprisoned, protecting her honor and keeping her name alive? The account makes sense, and the most outrageous aspect is that this wasn't just a hasty court ruling. Oh no, this was a calculated move that Remy had planned out beforehand. Papo is now out here looking ashamed as we discuss private meetings, shady legal maneuvers, and let's not forget the searing receipts. Disgraced and rumored to have lost money, he may even need to liquidate part of his assets to pay the settlement. Oh, honey, you're not prepare yourself for the extent of this problem because the information I'm going to give you will alter everything. Stay locked in mind what I'm going to tell you next. It's messier than we anticipated. Okay, everyone, get your popcorn ready because what I'm about to tell you is crazy. You thought this was just a trivial matter. Divorce settlement? Oh no, darling, this is much more complicated than that. Allow me to explain everything to you since Remy Ma's recent behavior towards Papoose is giving. This is how it began. After years of playing the ride or die game, Papo finally made the decision that he was a criminal mastermind, something he never even saw coming. The man has been pleading with Remy for a divorce for months, and we're not talking about a light-hearted dinner discussion. No, baby Papoose. Enough was enough. Was out here doing everything according to the book, including calling lawyers and submitting papers to end this marriage, but Remy's sister wasn't having it, and now we know why. According to a source, and I have the inside word, Remy had no intention of letting Papo get away with it. Oh no, she knew precisely what she was doing. Evidently, Remy was conspiring behind the scenes with one of the best divorce attorneys in New York, while Papo was out here attempting to escape. Next step, and when I tell you that it was planned, let's go back a moment. As everyone knows, Papo restrained Remy while she was imprisoned, right? He was the epitome of loyalty, raising their children, preserving her music career, and ensuring that her reputation would live on in the globe. When she eventually left, she pretended to be appreciative and called Papa her king while, behind closed doors, she was actually leaving, shady saw. As it happens, Remy has been skulking around with the block captain for a while now, and by messy I mean reality TV level. The same Easy that has been spotted at her for more than a year is the same Easy that has been sharing all those mysterious Instagram remarks about love and loyalty. Yes, darling, that isn't a coincidence. But this is the bit that will shock you. Papo was aware of it. Indeed, he has been aware for months. But instead of making a scene, he remained silent for the reason that his parents believed he could manage this in private, behind closed doors. He believed that he and Remy could work things out, but Remy had a plan and wasn't interested in doing so. Remy played the long game, whilst Papoose was. Remy was already assembling her legal team in an attempt to rescue the marriage, and according to legal documents, yes, I have seen them, she played it clever. Claiming that she had become financially dependent on Papo during their marriage, she purposefully applied for spousal support the final time. Remy Ma was out here doing headline gigs, signing endorsement contracts, and scheduling TV appearances, yet she managed to persuade the judge that she needed Papoose's support. Oh, honey, the outrageousness, but hold on, it gets worse. You recall when Remy made those menacing texts from Papoose. As it turns out, that was all part of the plan. According to insiders, Remy used those communications as evidence in court that Papo had established a hostile living environment. Surroundings, yes, she exploited those texts to portray herself as the victim. But what's even more bizarre is that they weren't really that serious, apparently all Papo. That was Remy's threat in court, and the judge, oh baby, took it. He said, I need you to stop playing with me and sign these papers. This is where Papo truly lost during the court procedures. Remy's solicitors produced the large receipts they said Papo had emotionally controlled Remy's funds and prevented her from pursuing business prospects during their marriage. Let's face it, we all know Papo was keeping the business side of things under wraps because Remy was incarcerated, but his attorney managed to turn that into a tale about money abuse and control. As you can imagine, the court purchased it. In addition to giving Remy alimony, the court also gave her the bag. According to court documents, Papoose has been ordered to make spousal support payments of $30,000 per month, not to mention the $500,000 lump sum that he must give right away. $30,000 a month, but it gets worse. The court has the power to take away Papoose's assets, including his real estate and music catalog, if he fails to make even one payment. Holdings, which implies that Papoose may have to sell his home in order to pay these monthly payments. This isn't just a difficult situation. It's terrible, and Remy Ma is sitting pretty while Papoose is out here looking like a complete idiot. She was just seen shopping in Soho with ease. Block Captain is currently flogging Papoose on social media while sporting a brand new luxury bag that, let's face it, Papoose most likely purchased. Papoose was out here penning love letters while signing court documents, but damn it you, that's not Papoose. Let me read you some of the tweets because the internet is savage. Easy Papoose should start selling mixtapes on the street corner because, well, $330,000 a month is enough to cover Remy's next trip, and you know. Remy, who hasn't even disputed anything, is posting cryptic Instagram messages like "secure the bag" and "they always hate the queen." Who is enjoying all of this? Guess who liked those posts? Clarissa Shield and the Block Captain O. She also added a slightly shady comment. "Papoose, you're good for disrespect." According to people close to him, Papoose is not doing well, honey. He was spotted leaving the courts crying and didn't even pause to talk to them. The question now is whether press would fight this in court or simply accept loss and Remy, as he simply got into his car and drove off. The fallout from this is going to be massive, and believe me when I say that it's only getting started. Will she continue playing this shady game, or is this just the beginning? Beginning to simmer, so stay tuned because, darling, this story is far from over. If you thought this was just a straightforward divorce drama, think again. Once more, Papoose, this is about more than simply a failed romance. It's about treachery, greed, and some of the most cunning actions we've seen in the business in years. Didn't simply lose in court, he was publicly humiliated, left penniless, and Remy, my honey, knew precisely what she was doing. Allow me to explain everything for you. Papoose and Remy have always had that ride or die mentality, so let's go back to how this whole issue began since the specifics are messy. Papoose kept her in check while she was incarcerated in 2008. He paid her weekly visits, looked after the children, and even helped sustain her musical career. When Remy left in 2014, Papoose was waiting for her, and they were married in a courthouse. He was devoted, the epitome of a down-for-life companion. Ceremony while she was still incarcerated, demonstrating his intense love for her. For a while, it appeared as though they were in the ideal relationship. During their joint interviews, red carpet appearances, and even a huge appearance on Love and Hip Hop, they were regarded as one of the game's strongest couples. However, insiders tell me that the scenario behind the scenes was completely different, and you know I have my sources. Things started to go wrong when Remy began approaching Eazy the Block Captain. To refresh your memory, Eazy is a battle rapper, but he has also been active in the industry recently, obtaining sponsorships, making club appearances, and let's just say, spending a lot of time with Remy. At first, it's not only business, and guess what Papoose did? He was a bit too harsh with his jokes and attendance at his shows. According to reports, Papoose questioned Remy directly whether there was something wrong with EAs on several occasions, and you know what she said? "You're being frightened, worried baby," but Papoose wasn't a fool. So he dug and discovered, oh honey, that it was awful. Apparently, Remy and E had been texting each other, and for months, I made late-night calls that were more personal than business-related. I'm talking about how much I miss you and how excited I am to see you again. Conversations, then Papoose flipped it on Remy when she confronted him about the receipts. "Why are you looking through my phone? Excuse me, how are you?" Despite the fact that he is the one cheating, the situation becomes more complicated since, as Papoose was attempting to determine what was happening, Remy was already preparing her next move. Yes, Remy was out here talking with divorce lawyers, while Papoose was back home penning love letters and looking after the family, as well as some of the top attorneys in New York. And that's when things really started to go south. You see, Remy didn't simply file for divorce. She went to. Let's be clear, the court believed her when she stated after Papa's pockets that she had become financially dependent on him during their marriage. Papoose has been profitable for years thanks to his real estate investments, music royalties, and, of course, his behind-the-scenes management. Business transactions as well, but the court highlighted Remy because she claimed to be the dependent spouse, and this is the bit that will make you. Scream Remy's solicitors contend that Papo hindered her career by managing their money and preventing her from pursuing specific business ventures, as you are all aware. That is untrue since Papo actually assisted Remy in getting back on her feet after serving her time in prison, but the court denied it, and when the decision was made, oh, it was awful, baby. The judge gave Remy $330,000 a month in spousal support, which is more than $160,000 annually, simply for being Papo's ex-wife, and that doesn't even account for the lump sum plus $500,000 that Papoose must give right away. What does that mean? According to reports, Papoose may have to liquidate some of his real estate holdings in order to make the payments, so it's a disaster for him. The court has the authority to seize his assets, including his music catalog, if he fails to make even one payment. However, guess who's out here winning? That's right, Remy Ma. Remy was seen shopping in Soho with Easy the Block Captain a few days after the court decision. She was wearing head-to-toe shoes and carrying a brand new Chanel purse. You already know Papoose's finances and social media, so guess who paid for it? They're dragging Papoose, not Papo, who is paying Remy. Papo should resume making mixtapes for E's upcoming trip because $30,000 a month isn't enough to keep a woman down for years. Remy shared a photo on Instagram of an Easy sitting just 2 days after the court decision, and she isn't even hiding the fact that she ended up paying her expenses. In a recent interview, Eaze was questioned about his relationship with Remy and you all standing courtside at a Knicks game. The caption reads, "Winning season. Baby Papoose is out here losing everything, and you're talking about no hard feelings, but we're just enjoying life." You know what he said. You all remember Clarissa Shields, the same Clarissa who has been rumored to have had a small affair. It's hard to deal with the disrespect, but wait, it gets worse. I'm not sure why everyone is so shocked, but guess who appeared on Instagram Live with Papo? Clarissa and Baby had some things to say. Clarissa even suggested that she tried to warn Shady Papoose about Remy months ago, but he ignored her, so he should have anticipated this. Clarissa feels vindicated, and according to reports, he is currently avoiding conversation in order to refocus and think about his legal options. Alternatives, but let's face it, what can he do? The court has already rendered a ruling, so the question now is what Papoose should do. Will he be able to get past this or will? If what I'm hearing is accurate, then Papa's legal team is still in the middle of this, and Remy is ready to leave with the bag. Already working on an appeal, and with the receipts they're about to release, they might completely turn the narrative on its head. Him everywhere and Remy Ma. Oh, she's not just taking the bag. She's out here using power moves like a true villain. Let me tell you everything. Down for you since the scandal's aftermath is more repulsive than we anticipated. So following the court's harsh decision, $30,000 per month in spousal. You would think Remy Ma would be lounging about after receiving support and a $500,000 in lump sum payments, yet she's out here celebrating like she just won a Grammy. Remy was caught in Miami with Easy the Block Captain just 2 days after the court decision. Naturally, they were seen enjoying cocktails at a 5-star resort. The part that really hurt was the attire Remy was wearing from head to toe, which made everyone chuckle around the pool as if they hadn't just robbed a man blind. A Versus bikini, a diamond necklace, and Louis Vuitton sunglasses must have cost at least $50,000. And you can probably guess whose money it was. Yes, Papu paid for that brief shopping spree, but this is where things get really sticky because Pap isn't just losing in court. He's losing in the streets as well. Some of Papa's closest friends are beginning to turn away from him, and it's not because they don't support him. Rather, it's because people have been under pressure from Remy's crew to take sides, and guess who is supporting Remy? Fat Joe. That's the same Fat Joe who used to call Papoose family, the same Fat Joe who defended Pap when others accused him of being weak for remaining faithful to Remy while she was imprisoned. It seems that Joe has been in Remy's ear since before the court decision that advised her to lock the bag and defend herself, and guess what? Joe was in Miami with, as Pap sat at home trying to figure out how he's going to pay that $330,000 a month. Remy and Waze posed for photos and drank champagne. Joe is not the only person who is changing sides. According to reports, one of Papa's oldest contacts in the industry, DJ Clay, has apparently stopped returning his calls. Slay told Papa months ago that Remy was acting strangely, but Pap didn't want to hear it. Now that Pap isn't on his side, but you know who I. When asked about Clarissa Shields' baby, she spilled all the tea. Last night, Clarissa went live on Instagram and didn't hold back, which Papoose should have abandoned Remy years ago. Everyone, with the exception of him, saw this coming. Clarissa also implied that Remy had been plotting for a while. She said that Remy began nearly 2 years ago, while Pep was out here telling the public that their marriage was stronger than ever and Clarissa wasn't. They were speaking with divorce attorneys. She claimed that Remy used Pep as a pawn to get all she desired from him, including his money, loyalty, and love. Pep let it to happen, and you all, Clarissa, may have a point, as it turns out that in addition to receiving the alimony, Remy also acquired ownership of one of the properties that Pep purchased during their time together. So yes, that lovely home in New Jersey that Pat purchased as a new beginning for them following Remy's release from prison is now Remy's home. Papoose has been struggling, according to insiders, and Pap has been told to leave the property within 60 days or face legal action. He's trying to avoid selling his music catalog while staying at a friend's house because he can't afford to stay in the one he now occupies. But if Remy's team is pushing for more financial penalties for late payments since he may be left with no other option and because Papo is losing more than just money. He is also losing respect. Let me read you some of these tweets because the disdain is genuine. Papo held Remy down. The internet has turned against him in a level that we haven't seen in years. Now that he's covering her expenses while she was incarcerated, weak Papo should resume producing mixtapes because the $330,000 a month is about to hit. Imagine how the lady you married plays you so hard. That couldn't be me and Remy. She's not even attempting to make things right. Instead, she's just stoking the flames. Remy just shared a picture of herself and Easy's sitting courtside at a Knicks game on Instagram yesterday. The caption read, "Nothing personal, just business. Excuse me." It's not personal. You simply stole this man's money, his house, and his dignity, and now you're claiming it's business. It seems to be getting easier every day. The captain has been quietly disparaging Papoose behind closed doors, according to a source close to him, and EA's has been informing others that should have anticipated this because Remy had been removed from that marriage for years. But the good news is that Pap used to be cool and Pap assisted. This is how Easy repays him for helping him get into some professional circles, making some calls for him, and even helping him land a big performance slot last year. Pap is talking about seeking payback after helping Remy take him to the cleaners, and those close to Pap believe he's thinking of releasing a diss track. Pap has apparently already been in the studio working with producers on a complete diss track directed at Remy and Easy Yep, and from what I've heard, it's about to be. Scathing one insider claimed that Pep isn't just angry. He's out for blood and is going to reveal some stuff about Remy that she isn't prepared for. So if that occurs, honey. We haven't even discussed the legal aspect yet, but Pap's attorneys have already filed the lawsuit, and this scenario is set to turn from messy to downright toxic. If Pap's team can demonstrate that Remy's legal team falsified any financial facts, they will be able to challenge the alimony verdict. Remy lied under oath that the $30,000 monthly judgment might be completely overturned, but she isn't giving up. Her attorneys issued a statement that the court's ruling was correct. Papoose can easily fulfill his financial responsibilities, while baby Papoose may not even be able to have a house in 2 months, but Remy is discussing responsibilities and worse. Pap lacks a platform to defend himself. Remy's public relations team is already placing pressure on news organizations and bloggers to steer the conversation. Pap's team is having trouble staying ahead of the story, and if this appeal fails. In addition to losing the money, Papoose may also lose his remaining career. And guess what? Remy is already preparing her next move, according to sources. And EA's is in discussions with VH1 over a possible reality program called Love, Loyalty, and Betrayal Baby. Since you can't make this up, the question now is, what will Po do next? Will he defend himself, or will he accept the defeat and let Remy go with everything? If the single drops, then it's. This narrative is far from over, so it's going to get dirty, so remain locked in. The question now is, whose side are you all on? And is Papo merely a victim of Remy's clever game, or did he cause this by disregarding the warning signs? And is Remy merely safeguarding the luggage as any astute woman would, or did she take? Playing with Papa's heart, and his money has gone too far. What about Easy the block captain? Was he involved in the plot, or was he merely enmeshed in the drama? From the beginning, as it appears from my vantage point, that he knew precisely what he was doing when he slid in and made himself comfortable while Papa was holding everything together. And let's not forget about Clarissa Shields, who is talking as if she had more to say. What does she know that we don't? Because we could be facing a much greater scandal if the rumors are accurate and Pap did disclose to Clarissa the issues in his marriage. About to happen, so please share your ideas. Whose side are you on in the comments? Are you #Teamy or #Papoose? And how simple is his victory in the game of simply riding the wave or falling in love until it collapses? And remember, whether that track drops, you know I'm coming, honey. Returning with every receipt and shattering it down gradually, so be careful to hit that like, subscribe, and turn on buttons. Alerts because, oh baby, this story. It's not finished yet.